Evening, folks. So, welcome to Find a New Career episode 2. So, it's been a while since I've done this. This is really in light of having 5 job interviews so far, and I really wanted to document the journey as much as possible, as Gary Vee always encourages, here on LinkedIn and on YouTube, where I'm trying to grow this tiny YouTube channel into something worthwhile watching for those that are nurses, health professionals, or anybody that's looking for a new career and you're around about my same age as me. You're over 40, you're in your mid 40s, you're heading towards 50, and you feel like, I've been off for work for a while, I've been still promoting my brands, Healthy Career Nurses, which fits into the brand quite nicely. But I think it's important, I've tried to, I don't know, I mean, I'm a born again Christian, I don't know whether God's trying to just steer me, he's probably steer me in the right direction. And as much as I love artificial intelligence, I mean, it's gave me a lot of power in terms of writing content, producing videos, etc. And it's helped me massively improve my competitive based interviews, going for jobs, uploading my CV, getting to analyze it. There's all sorts of great power in that. However, I press on, but I think I'm going to slow the pace down because what I've learned over 5 interviews in about 5 weeks, one a week average, which is really good going for me. I've never had that much success before. I feel like there is a positive move for me in my life now to find out exactly where I want to serve and how can I be happy. I'm moving the needle. I'll be honest. The 5 jobs I've gone for, two been in a school, and 3 have been one's retail, which I can't believe I went for, and then 2 has been with a council, local council, and some were really tough. Most of them really had tough questions, and it was difficult. But what I said to myself, you know what, Steve, your performance is increasing, your confidence is there, and I'm not applying for a job because I really need the money. It's because I feel like it's time to get back working again. Um, I want to get a house or want to get a mortgage or get married again, all that stuff, and that costs money. So as the next part of my journey, sadly, my marriage didn't work out, and I think sometimes when you hit the mid 40s, you're working your situation out, your career, and it's more about your lifestyle. I think that I've learned. My confidence has gone up. Today I got a nice email from Royal British Legion asking me to do the London Marathon. I can't at the moment. I said no. I'm going to say no because I've got to put more money into that. They said no issue when I got into the ballot, and now there's a space, but then I have to pay money for that, and I think it's my body is not as strong as it was in the early summer, and I was pushing the boundaries just a bit. So I feel that when you're over 40, looking for work or a new career, getting back into work. Me, I've been out of work for about a year and 3 months. I say I've been out of work. I've been focused on my brands. It's time to get back in the rat race, as it were. Okay. Um, but I wouldn't say it's difficult. I don't know what it is, but this time around, looking for a new career, a new job, I've really enjoyed it. Um, I've not got any pressure from anybody. I've got nothing but support. There's my church, my friends, and anybody that catches this, that knows me. I want to thank you because when you've had 5 interviews, one after the next, and some of us get a bit disheartened. They're like, oh, and I don't feel that way. What I do feel is I've built a really good framework. Each interview lets me narrow down really on the industry. At the moment, I'm like today I spent maybe an hour trying to look at what job is next and looking at the feedback I've been getting from the interviews because I'm just getting beaten by people that are already in the role or done it before. Even though I'm overqualified as a former teacher, a chance. They're not saying like, okay, you're a former teacher, excellent. Some of the interviews have been done really well in terms of performance, but they are giving it to other people that are already in the role, and that seems to be a fame. But I think when you're over 40, we take it as a negative, and we say to ourselves, "Is that age discrimination?" Because I'm not younger, even though I'm overqualified. The jobs I've been applying for, some of them, the retail one that was funny. There's been a few retail jobs. I don't even know why I applied for them. I really don't. I think I was just hard out on a keyboard, and I went for some of these retail jobs, and all of them said no. It's funny. I have to laugh because I don't want to go back into retail. I think that's too much of a down level. Um, I don't. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not really. I couldn't get my book published last year, and some of my problems in the past was trying to do too much, and then I stumbled into a really good book. I highly recommend that uses time management. The one thing where the statement is, what's the one thing that you can do or I can do, so much so that everything else will become irrelevant or less important. So it's like saying, focus on one job at a time, or focus on one industry at a time. Look at your skill set first. There's a lot of people that get overworked about their CV. I mean, with ChatGPT 4 now, you can design your own CV. You can upload a job spec, and I encourage you to listen to my other series I've been uploading. I'm episode 6 now. Check it out on my LinkedIn feed, and just documenting my journey about how I feel after each interview. ChatGPT 4 is amazing because when we try to prepare for a new career, or a new job, or an interview, we're doing it all up here. But if we let AI kind of guide us well, in terms of, right, you upload a job spec and you see get it to design questions that you might be asked, then upload your CV, then write your answers and get it to score it. I'm a former teacher and I'm very good at designing assessment criteria and stuff like that. So I'm going really advanced on it, and I hope to shape a new course for everybody for free, and carry on with the series until I get a job. And I might not get a job. It might be that my brand takes off before my getting a job, because I've been in this situation before. I did learn a job before, but it didn't last because my epilepsy, sadly. But I'm having a stronger year. I only had 2 seizures, and I don't mind sharing that with you last year. This year, I'm seizure-free. I've got my driver's license back. That's gave me a massive confidence. And I think sometimes that's what we need. We need confidence to boost ourselves, especially when we're at our age. I'm over 40. I'm 46 to be precise. And that's okay. So what I'm going to do from now on is I'll probably just do this, go live on LinkedIn once a week on a Monday. On YouTube, I'll go live every night because it's a bigger audience and I'm trying to reach people that are struggling, trying to find work. I think there is a lot of element of age discrimination. I don't know whether I can class mine as age discrimination, because a lot of jobs, I mean, the 5 interviews, I say 2 of them. One, didn't really perform that well. That was my first job interview. That was a little bit nerve-wracking. One I did, but the last role I was overqualified, but they gave it to somebody that had been doing it recently. It just goes to show experience is not really what all it says it is, because if you're experienced recently compared to someone who's got a higher qualification that is a teacher and there's a role below it, you'd think you give it to the teacher, but it didn't happen on this occasion. I enjoyed visiting the school. It was fantastic. They made me feel welcome, so I can't fault them. And that's life. But I know that, not to be too religious, that God will open up a door soon. It might not be a job. It might be something else. It might be a big client. I don't know. But I don't like keeping all my eggs in one basket. I like putting in investment in my time into jobs, into brand building, which I try to keep the balance between looking for work. I feel like I'm taking the foot off the accelerator now because I've had 5 interviews, and by now I'm more closing the doors where I feel like I'm not going to be happy. And money does matter, but I think to have the right culture, what I liked about the school that I went for is the culture was really good. And I think sometimes, even if you don't get the job, just to go there and just to have a good experience gives you a boost in confidence, especially when you get to you approach 50, which, there's a few more years to go for that. I don't feel old, but I know that with artificial intelligence, it's going to be hard for me to kind of find a career. I know being a teacher is being a teacher, but it's, I'm trying to get away. I don't mind going back into education. I've got to take a massive pay cut from my old salary, but it's difficult. And sometimes you have to think, where am I going to be happy? People say a job is a job, but I think at our age, we have the right and the experiences that we have in life. We have the right to choose what job or career we want and try to narrow that down. Have I got the right skills? Most of the jobs I'm overqualified. Some I'm not. Some of areas I'm lacking a bit. But having known that their employees will favour somebody that's been in the role, I've been out the game over a year. I've got a first degree. I'm good on social media. And, this is the thing with LinkedIn. All these jobs on LinkedIn are incredibly competitive. I've never been a big fan, I'm sorry to say, LinkedIn, of applying for jobs on LinkedIn because they are long-winded processes where even if you do easy apply, which I don't do really often, you don't get anything back. There's too many people applying for the job. So out of 100 people, someone's going to be more qualified than me. Oh, but you should apply anyway. I don't think that's the right mindset. I think you need to, run it through ChatGPT-4, assess it. You need to get the ratios down. The job interviews I've been going for is about 4-1 for me, I think. But on LinkedIn, it's 100-1, 200-1. So it's ridiculous. And there is less, even though in the US there's more jobs coming out, there are less jobs for people in this skilled economy, pro AI, because we're not, even though coding itself is becoming, I'd say, not a necessity skill, there are employers want the creme de la creme at the moment. They're not interested in your qualifications. They want you to hit the ground running. From my analysis and being in the job market game myself and job hunting for the last 5 weeks, the feel in the market is that they will pick the person that's done it before, and that's what they go for. So someone like myself that's trying to find a new career, they're not going to give me a chance. And that's been proven, well, maybe 4 times, because on the second or third interview was retail, and it weren't really, we weren't really disappointed. I didn't get it. But I laughed because I think I didn't get the retail job. And you think, okay, right, something's not working here. But I know that my performance has increased because I've developed a framework. I've used AI, even though AI is automating jobs, it really is. So yeah, that's for me. I want to close the show or this week's episode and say, look, I'm not going to say to people looking for work right now, don't worry, you'll find something, you're going to be all right. I don't think that's the best advice. My advice is to go deeper and use your emotional intelligence, your ability to understand your own emotions. See how you feel. I'm learning now after 5 interviews that money is probably more important than what I thought. I thought I wanted to try and lead in passion, but at 46, I've been a support worker, a teacher. I've been in, the reserve forces. There's not many jobs in this world that excite me. There really isn't. And I really thought I was going to become a counsellor. And I recently found out that I couldn't get onto my level 4. And I wasn't disappointed. And it's so funny in life, as you get older, and there's a lot of swearing it, but Al Pacino's Any Given Sunday, when he says, look, as you get older in life, things get taken from you. And for me, I found that out. My health has just gone, like this year I'm really strong, but it's like last year was really bad. I had a cancer scare, and last year and this year mildly. I'm all right, so to speak, but it's a tough world. And I think as you get older, you just got to count your blessings, count the basics. I've got a roof over my head. I'm in a warm building. All right, I live in a house here. I don't have a wife or a girlfriend, but I know that I'm in faith and I'll stick to that. That keeps me strong. So it's struggling to find a new career over 40. I know it is because I'm in the game myself. So pat yourself on the back, and I'm not going to say to you keep going. Rest when you need to. Use AI ChatGPT-4 as much as you can. Use it as a coach. And if you go into my LinkedIn profile, I've given you lots of tips there. Follow me. There's like episode 6 now I'm up to, and each episode is like there's a different question that I go through, and I give you a bullet point list of how to kind of address that. Today, I think I was talking about AI prompts in finding a new career, I believe. But check it out, and if you're on that journey and you find something that works, share it on LinkedIn or YouTube to help others, because it's going to get really hard for a lot of people as AI advances into all our jobs. So maybe I'm going to be, as well as other people, not many people, first on the market, if you were, and given the careers journey advice that we really need is over 40s. Anyway, folks, I'm going to end it now. I've been talking for 15 minutes. It's a joy to be here with you on LinkedIn and YouTube. Have a great evening all, and I'll see you next week. But YouTubers, catch me tomorrow, and I'll go into episode. I'll be talking general about trying to find a new career, and I'll give you an update on what I've done for tomorrow. So I'll be applying for another job tomorrow. I won't be spending hours on it. At this stage, I just feel it's better to take my time and to look at salary and culture. For me at the moment, it's salary and culture. Those are the two radars. Location does matter. I think remote work is harder to get than what it really is. Not as attractive as what I thought it could be. It's very hard. LinkedIn jobs, a lot of them are remote, but it's so competitive. So competitive. And I think sometimes you've got to bow out the game and do things. You've got to be strategic in your job hunting, and you've got to turn the odds to your favor. Because if you're going for jobs, you're spending hours on applications, and there's hundreds of people, or at least over 100 for that one job. I'm sorry, those odds I don't like. You might get it, yeah, but the way that I see how much AI is automating the recruitment process, I want to lower those odds to maybe less than 10. And the best way to do that is to try different job boards, different ways, Facebook, Marketplace, etc. Different platforms. Indeed, I'm not a big fan of, I'll be honest. I don't think it's really robust enough to give you feedback, and it's not set up well to apply for a job. It's just too much. The job is there, you send a CV, nothing comes back. Whereas if you go on local government sites, you might be more chance to get an interview because there's less people applying, and the skills locally are high in demand, and there's less of them. Opportunity for you to try. Anyway, folks, I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you so much for watching the show. Join me next week, LinkedIn, and YouTubers catch me daily on finding a new career.